So this is how you make a pom-pom. First, you grab some yarn, take your scissors, and you cut a small length from it. Then, you take the length that you've cut, and then you hold it like this between your two fingers. And then this is kind of how I do it, is I roll the end bit over the longer of my fingers so that it doesn't come undone. For this pom-pom, we're going to use all three colors we used for this toque. So this really, really dark orange, which I'm holding between my middle finger and my ring finger. The not quite so dark orange. And then the darkish yellow. All right, so we've got all three colors. Put them like this so that they're ready to go. And then quite simply, you just start wrapping them around your finger. And you just keep doing that until you've got this huge ball of yarn wrapped around your fingers. Can take a little while. The more, the merrier in this case. You want your pom-pom to be really thick. So just keep on going. All right, so this feels about right to me for our pom-pom. You cut the yarn that goes to the yarn balls and then take your yarn balls away from your cutting area. All right, remember that thread that we wrapped around our finger? Well, you take that and you tie it around the pom-pom. Don't try as best as you can not to take it off your fingers yet. You don't want to do that quite yet. So just tie your, it doesn't have to be awesome, the knot right now, and I wouldn't tie it in a double knot yet, but it's all, you can see it's all in there. And then you take your scissors, be very careful not to cut yourself, and you start cutting. All right, it's very thick, so I'm just going to cut different layers on their own. Very, very thick, which is good because we want a thick pom-pom. Just kind of makes the cutting it along your fingers part a little hard, especially since you really don't want to cut your fingers. Not only would that be bad because you'd have cut fingers, you'd be getting blood all over your pom-pom, and then it'd be a pretty useless pom-pom. Because blood doesn't wash out very well. Oh, the things you learn. A lifetime of making costumes. Okay, my fingers are free. That means all the threads are cut. So now we've got this big mass of things, but they're all tied together because of this. So now you're going to tie it real tight. So see, it's already looking like a pom-pom. So you tie it tight, and then you tie it tight again. Don't worry too much about errant yarn getting in the way. All right, so this will be a little bit hard for me. All right, let's do it. Let's... All right. I just put it down on the desk so that I could tie the knot nice and tight. And then I'm just going to tie the knot one more time. so it's very secure. And then still kind of loose. So what you can do is you can tie it around another time. Find some loops that aren't completely cut, just cut them. So pretty much at this point, you want to find your lead off threads. Big long threads. And then from those, because these are what we're going to use to attach this to the hat later. You're going to kind of pull it like this. And then you're going to cut the pom-pom so that all the threads are relatively the same length. This is by far the messiest part. So you want to do it either over a garbage can or, like in my case, on a big old table, because then I can just wipe it into a garbage can. Actually, I normally would be doing this over a garbage can, but I wanted to show you over something that wasn't ugly. Okay, and then you kind of pull at it to make sure that you can get to more of them. And then kind of shift it around and go from the other side. Do your best to kind of try and make it as ball-like as possible. And the threads on the edge should be a little shorter than the threads in the middle. Generally, in a perfect world, it would be all the way around the same, but this is not perfect. All right, so one more trim along the edge. All right, so that looks starting to look a lot more like a pom-pom. All right, and yeah, it's a lot more like a pom-pom now. First, before I get my toque, I'm just going to move that a little bit out of the way. Yeah. Now, you grab your toque, you grab your crochet hook. Now you stick your crochet hook right up the middle, and then you grab one of the lead off ones that tied it together. There we go, we got one, and then you pull it through. Oh. All right, let's try that again. Stick it up real close to the middle. Try and get it on either side of the big tie off that's at the center of the crown. All right, so that's through. And now on the other side of the center, there's your crochet hook. There's your probably find this a little bit annoying because the weight of the pom-pom is going to want to fall, make itself fall out. All right, so, all right, grab them on the inside, turn it inside out, and then all you got to do is tie it. Nice and tight. I like to put a couple knots in there. And then cut those off. And then ta-da! Your toque has a pom-pom.